Do you recognize your partner's play signals? Many of us don't.
In the book, Play, How It Shapes the Brain, Opens the Imagination, and Invigorates the Soul by Brown and Vaughn, the authors identify 8 different kinds of play. We'll be exploring a few of these in this course. We go more deeply into all 8 kinds in our longer course, Deeply Connected.
Are you aware of your partner's play style? Are you aware of what your partner enjoys doing that feels like play to them?
And are you aware of your partner's play signals? The things that they do that initiate play or invite you to play. Maybe you hadn't even realized this was an invitation to play.
Are you aware of your own play style? Maybe your style of play is one that people don't easily recognize. We think laughing together is a great thing, but you don't need to have belly laughing together to be playing. Play can be anything that you enjoy doing together.
For example, until I read the book, I didn't realize that Bob's going for a walk or going for a drive and his invitations to me to do that was actually his play style as an explorer.
Until I read the book, I didn't at all recognize Marlene as the joker. She's highly unconventional as a joker. In fact, her joker is more like the provoker. And it's a lovely play style that I've learned to enjoy, in fact, even do. But she's not a joker storyteller. She's not a joker prankster. She doesn't play with puns.
No.
Please don't.
No.
And she doesn't have this big come back at you really quick that a lot of jokers do. So what was it like playing in your home, in your family of origin? What was play like when you were a child growing up?
In my home, play was done after the work was done. That was a rule. And we would play baseball, board games, go to the beach. In fact, these things were often used as a reward. So if we get this field of tomatoes picked, then we'll go to the baseball game tonight. Now, probably would have gone to the baseball game anyway, but it was a way my parents used to motivate us. My dad loved to tell jokes. And I still remember some of his jokes fondly because he told them often enough. And he would start laughing before he got to the punchline. And we would start laughing because he was laughing before we even realized it was funny.
In my home, play was also after all the work was done. It happened on weekends, particularly on Sunday afternoons, and sometimes in the evening. We would play by going exploring along the Niagara Escarpment. Or we would do things like wrestling on the floor or just being really silly together. I have fond memories of my mother and I making fun of our ethnic group's accent. We used to use that accent on each other and really laugh about it. What a great memory, actually. When I was growing up, a minister in our church gave a sermon called Man muss Fun haben. Translated, humanity needs fun. Well, we all picked up on it, including my dad. And we would use that term when well, I guess it's a play invitation. Man muss fun haben. And away we'd go into being rather silly together. It was a really great memory again. In fact, Marlene and I sometimes even do that right now. Man muss fun haben. And away we go.
For me personally, most of my play was solitary. I was into fantasy world. One of my favorite fantasies was of being an amazing figure skater. Well, I could barely stand up on skates.
That's still there.
But I still have that fantasy, yes. I love to read, so I would, lose myself in the play world, in my imagination. I needed to babysit my younger siblings, but I particularly enjoyed playing with my younger sister, and I got to play with dolls way longer than I would have at my age.
In my childhood, I had a lot of time getting lost in the woodlots on our farm. I could spend hours there enjoying my own fantasies, but I had 3 younger siblings, and I would take them with me, and we would disappear for hours together, building forts and having imaginary conflicts with the cows in the field. It was great fun. My mother was really happy, and she didn't even know where we were or what we were doing, but we had a wonderful time together.
You might recognize that some of our play that we do now comes from those experiences as a child. Bob's exploration, Bob's love of physical play, my fantasy love of jokes, love of laughing, things like that. But both of us have had to unlearn the rule that play only happens after all the work is done.
Big unlearning.
Big unlearning. So talk to your partner about what you learned about play. What kinds of play happened in your home or not? What kinds of play you enjoyed as a child? And what, if any, rules you might need to unlearn about play? Is there anything that you loved to do that you've lost and that you might want to resurrect and do again?